Hey everyone, welcome back to Trials to Triumph. Pastor Brad Closter here from the Rock Church in Bel Air, Michigan. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for being a part of what we're doing. I appreciate it. If you don't already, please make a habit of liking this or leaving some comments or doing whatever you can to let us know that you're watching. Share this with anybody that you might think could be a benefit. And I think we're doing our best to help people, and that's the goal here. We're talking about faith, and you know what? I'm loving it, and I hope that you are too, because I think talking about this topic definitely helps people, and I'm excited about it, and I want to continue with that tonight. Last week, I gave you the big verse in Hebrews 11, chapter 6. It says that God, we need to believe when we walk by faith that, well, first, let me back up. Without faith, it's impossible to please God. I'm so excited, I'm getting ahead of myself. Without faith, it's impossible to please God. We need to believe that He is, and that He is a rewarder of those who diligently seek Him. So, do you believe that God is who He says He is? Do you believe He can do what He said He can do? Do you believe that He is a rewarder, and you believe that He can reward your diligence? That's the basics of faith, because the book of Habakkuk says the just live by faith, and that's exactly what we're here to do. So if we're here to live by faith, how do we do that? Well, I've already given you plenty of examples. You can go back and watch some of these from recent days, but I want to give you a couple other verses tonight that are going to help you see something. Hebrews chapter 11, we're still there, but in verse 1 now, says, "Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen." I want you to see something here, that faith is evidence. In other words, faith, it's not that faith was the evidence or faith is going to be the evidence. Faith is the evidence of the things that we're hoping for and the evidence of the things we haven't seen. This is proof, and I want to point this out because this is the whole basis for what I want to talk about tonight, that faith is present tense. It's right now. It's what you're doing right now. You can't tell me. I mean, you can tell me. You can say, "Well, this is what I used to believe, and this is what I walked in faith for many years ago." You know, all that stuff. I'm talking about faith is right now. Faith is the substance of what you're hoping for now. Was the evidence of the things you can't see yet, but it's going on right now at this very moment. Faith is, not faith was, faith is. And we have to understand that in order, remember the Hebrews 11:6 says, without faith, it's impossible to please God. So my faith every day in the present tense, in the present moment, is what's causing me to walk pleasing to God. I need to walk in faith every day. I need to incorporate my faith every day into my life, because that's what's going to be pleasing to God, is my daily walk of faith. Not look at what I believed for 15 years ago, or look at what I hope, look at what I wished for before and God answered my prayer. I'm glad. That's a great testimony, but that's not faith right now. We're talking about faith right now. Faith is the substance and the evidence of what you're hoping for and believing for at this very moment. And the way it works as substance, we already talked about the fact that faith is wrapped up in our what we say and what we believe. So your faith is being proved every day by what you're believing and by what you're saying. That's the substance. It's what you can actually see. It's what you can actually hear. You know what you're believing for. You know what you're hoping for. Now, the proof of that is in your mouth and what you're speaking. You know, why would God care so much about us having faith? Why would He care? Like, why not just get born again and obey God and Him not care about our faith? Well, I think part of it is the giving nature of God, because in Hebrews 11:6 it talks about that God is a rewarder. He wants you to be in faith because He wants to be able to provide everything you need. How many times would we not get what we need because we're just not believing for it? We're just not praying for it. You know, it's kind of like me as a parent. I don't want to see my kids not have their needs met. I don't want to see them struggle and struggle and struggle and struggle and never be able to give them what they need to make it in life. I mean, if whatever the situation, if all my kid needed was one thing to just make things way easier and just get things done, then it's in my heart, I would want to be able to give that to them so that they can, do what they need to do in life. And I believe we get that from God, that God says, I can see that you might be struggling. I can see that what you're going through is hurting your life. And all it really takes is for me to give you what you need, and this won't be a struggle anymore. I think many times we struggle through life, and I've noticed a good characteristic about people that is a great, great thing, but it handicaps us in faith. And I know a lot of people who just kind of put their nose down and they just go for it. And they push through the struggle, they push through the fight, they push through, which is an outstanding characteristic. But what happens sometimes with those people is as they're putting their nose down and they're just fighting forward, they forget what it looks like to believe God, and they forget what it looks like to walk by faith. They're just going for it. They're just doing what they know to do, but they're not believing God. They're not speaking faith. They're just living a life, fighting life through, what you need to do. And like I said, it's a great characteristic, but don't forget to live by faith. Don't forget to let your belief be believing God for something out there that could be better. Don't forget to allow your words to be speaking that life and speaking and praying and asking God for the things that you need and believing that He is who He says He is and He can do what He said He can do. That's what faith is all about. So as we continue to talk about faith, which I don't know how long we've been doing this, but I'm not getting bored with it, and I hope you're not either. But as we continue this, may it continue to develop your faith and put your faith into action. Don't just amen me. Go out and do it and watch God move for you. Hey, thanks for joining me. We'll see you again next time on Trials to Triumph.